investment perspective, there are multiple pathways to the low carbon economy, of which proactive policy generation is actually only one. We consider there to be 6 main pathways to the low carbon economy. Certainly, US politics is one of those pathways. It's unlikely in the near term that Congress will pass any sort of strict regulation to price carbon. However, of course, we've seen President Obama make some very strong statements about regulating carbon through other means. Chinese politics alone could also create a massive acceleration to the low carbon economy. But those are proactive regulatory measures. And we saw during Hurricane Sandy that actually politicians sometimes have to react to events. And as physical events increase around the world, that reaction becomes more and more likely. And public opinion as a result of that reaction can, of course, quickly drive politicians to put in place policy which previously didn't exist. But also regional scheme convergence, the ability of slower and perhaps sometimes smaller measures to sometimes combine to create momentum around managing carbon in the marketplace can have a big impact. We've seen people try to merge state and national emissions trading schemes. Innovation is, of course, another major pathway to the low carbon economy. The ability of innovators to lower prices, create economies of scale, provides just as an equal threat to the high carbon investments in a portfolio. We've seen, for example, in Germany driving production prices in China so low that it has fueled the US solar market. And this has created additional pressures in the US coal sector. This kind of example, which nobody could really have predicted, is just what happens in a free market. Innovation begins to create substitute opportunities for those same products, and this is going to continue as low carbon substitutes offer an alternative to their high carbon counterparts. And finally, 6, thematic investing by these leaders. If you look at some of the very, very largest investors around the world, there are quite a number of funds with over $100 billion of funds under management. It's not going to take too many of those leaders to start reallocating some of their investments towards the low carbon economy, to start to shift the numbers in the direction of the low carbon economy and to make a real impact on the economies of scale. All of those 6 pathways can create the same transition to a low carbon economy, any one of them. And of course, because there are so many alternative pathways, the risk is multiplied for an investor. At some point in time, the realization will be in place that the low carbon economy is going to materialize and materialize quickly. And this is what investors have to guard against, any of those 6 pathways.